now, more, less, or the same. Here's how it's going to go. We're giving you all the FBS teams in Carolina, looking at their win totals from a season ago, and you guessed it, we're going to decide whether they are going to have more, less, or the same. Thus the name, more, less, or the same.
There it is.
Set the stage for us, Dennis.
All right, so we are going to factor in conference championships and bowl games as well because those factor into schools' overall records. Let's go actually down to Charlotte, the 49ers. 3-9 last season. New head coach. More wins, less wins, or the same?
I'm going to go more. It's hard to go 2 wins, right? You just look at the schedule. There's a couple built in there. Also, new coaches. I like the boost that comes with new energy and those sorts of things. So yes, I'm gonna go over 3 for the 49ers, and that's not saying they're gonna win 10, but 4, sure.
Playing the odds.
Yeah, I mean, it is a bit of the high-low game, and when you're just cutting the deck of cards. Like if you pull a 3, you're going over, right?
Yeah.
Just chances are. Now I know it's not that simple, but yeah, I'm taking the over.
Okay.
Or it's more or less or the same, and I said over. I'm taking the more.
You're going more. Okay. Next one. Let's go out to Boone. Let's go to App. App State 6-6 last season. Actually didn't qualify for a bowl game because 2 of those wins came against FCS schools. More, less, or the same win total of 6 for App State this year.
I struggled with this one because Chase Bryce isn't walking through that door anymore. He's up there in Canada playing for the BC Lions.
Is he really? That's where he is?
That's what the internet says. The internet never lies.
Good on him.
They're starting a redshirt freshman at quarterback with the last name Berger, which is one of those deals where it's like, well, you replace the veteran with a redshirt freshman, your mind immediately goes to the less. But then you recognize the guy's name is Burger, and you're like, well, I can't pick against the Burger.
No, you can't.
Burger with cheese is going to be slinging it around.
There you go.
Their schedule, like you mentioned, last year had some more built-in wins. I'm going to go the same.
Oh, okay.
Right? Because it was one. I was looking at this total and struggling, right? For every reason that there was to go over or to go with the more, there was a reason to go with the less. And I was going, and then I was like, wait a second. This game has a built-in answer for when you're struggling like this, the same. So, I'll give them 6 wins.
I think I'm with you on that. They have a tough early start of the season with UNC and East Carolina. They also play against Coastal as well. It's not an easy schedule for them this season. But
Sun Belt's no joke.
No, it really isn't.
It's not.
I'm inclined to hope that they go 7-5, but I think I'm with you on this one.
Hey, agreement. It's good vibes on a Thursday.
Right? All right, let's actually go out and mention East Carolina. ECU last season went 8-5. New quarterback, Holton Ahlers, gone in the NFL. I think he's on the practice squad, somewhere, I believe. I know he's with the Seahawks during training camp and all that. But East Carolina, the Pirates, 8-5 last season. More, less, or the same win total, 8?
I think I have to go less.
Really?
And that's kind of out of respect to Ahlers. He's been around for a long time.
Okay.
He's a leader, and as you mentioned, he's on the practice squad. He's actually with the Seahawks in the practice squad.
Okay, nice.
And
he made it.
There was even some rumblings that the Seahawks may have to keep him on the 53. Now, obviously, that didn't happen, but that means he's pretty darn good. Keaton Mitchell, right? You look at a few. There's some reason to believe that it's going to take them a couple games at least to replace some of the talent from a season ago. So I'm going with the less, but more out of respect for the players they lost than for any kind of downgrade on the players that are there now.
Look at their schedule early. At Michigan, home against Marshall, then at App State. That's a tough 3 games to start their season for East Carolina. That also includes, you got to throw in there, they play Tulane this season, who's preseason ranked top 25 as well. I think I'm going to go the same. I think they get back to 8 wins because, again, we're factoring in postseason into this as well. I think if they go 75 regular season, win a bowl game, I'm going to go right there the same, 8 wins.
I didn't realize until just now, going back to the App State, we both unintentionally picked them to lose a bowl game.
Yeah.
Because we said they would have 6 wins, which makes them bowl eligible. But then we said they would have 6 wins, so they can't win the bowl game or else that would put them at 7. So we unintentionally picked them to lose a bowl.
Fair enough. All right, let's actually head over to the team that's playing tonight, Wake Forest. Wake Forest last season finished the year overall 8-5, more or less or the same for Wake Forest.
I think I'm gonna go. See, they're tough. Can I see 2 games first? Is that allowed? Can I see games 1 and 2?
No, you got to give me a prediction right now. So then in December when we replay this, we can shove it in your face, Tim.
All right. I mean, they had 8 wins last year.
Mm-hmm.
Their offense was awesome. Defense left a lot to be desired. I'm gonna. You know what? I'm gonna go less. I don't feel good about it.
Oh, really?
I'm thinking 7.
7.
I'm going less. I don't feel good about it.
See, I think they have at least 4 built-in wins to start the season. Elon, Vanderbilt, Old Dominion, Georgia Tech. That's 4 wins right there, in my opinion. And also, you got to throw in the fact that they play Syracuse and Virginia Tech. Now, when things get tricky...
There's 6 right there.
So, yeah, there's 6. Okay, if things get tricky, you have Florida State, who they've beat 3 straight times, and they get them at home. NC State, Notre Dame, Duke, also, and Clemson, and Pitt. So, I don't know. I'm going to go same. 8 wins again this year for Wake Forest.
I will see in a second, but there are some games that like when I was filling out Wake Forest, because I looked at their full schedules to make the picks, and like Wake Forest, Duke, I was tempted to go, all right, Wake Forest, but then when I did the same for Duke, I was like, all right, let's go Duke, and I'm like, wait a second, I can't pick them both to win the same game on like different sheets of paper, so obviously I went Duke on that side, so it's a tough one for Wake Forest. I don't feel good about it, but less.
Okay, I'm gonna go with more.
Somebody has to. Somebody. I mean, I can't pick the over on everybody.
I take that back. I'm gonna go with the same. I'm gonna go with the same on this one. All right, let's head over to another team that's playing tonight. Mm-hmm. NC State, the Wolfpack, 8-5 last season. New offensive coordinator, new quarterback, more or less of the same number of wins, 8.
I have them going more by way of bowl.
Okay.
I'm going 8-4 in the regular season. I'm hoping, so I'm really anticipating a bit here that they get a solid matchup in a bowl game and they can take advantage of it. I think they win tonight. I'll start there. And with some built-in wins and a little bit of good fortune on the offensive side of the ball, I think they can get to 8 in the regular season and then pick up a bowl game win.
Their schedule gets tough late in the season because you have Duke, Clemson, Miami, Wake Forest, and North Carolina all in the back half of the season. But they got some wins built in early against UConn, VMI, Virginia, and I think they should beat Virginia Tech. Notre Dame is going to be a tough one early in the year. I'm going to go more. I think this offense is actually going to surprise a lot of people out there.
You're an Nye Armstrong believer?
I am all in on it. I'm all in on more this season. I think they get 10 wins this year.
Next time we do this, we should have it should be more, less, way more, way less, or the same. And just give
8 to 10s, it's more. 8 to
give
10.
us a chance to be a little bit more bold.
Okay, well, I'm going more. I'm saying 10 wins for Wolfpack.
I think 9, but obviously if I get it right because they win 10, I'm taking credit for it.
Well, of course. But I'm going to take more credit because I said 10. All right, let's go to North Carolina. UNC, 9-5 last season, having lost in the ACC championship game as well as in their bowl game to Oregon. New offensive coordinator, but this might be the year for UNC to really take off. 9 wins, more or less of the same.
I'm going more, and the reason being, I think they underperformed last year.
Okay.
Like I don't think they are leaps and bounds better this year than they were last year. But that last 4 or 5 game stretch where the wheels came off, it's. I don't see that happening again. I have a little bit of faith in Drake May to figure out kind of the defenses that were played against him that confused him later on in the year. He still has the physical ability. If we had the option, I might go way more if we include Tez Walker being eligible, but we don't know that yet. So I'll stick with more and expect Carolina to get to 10 wins. I think that's fair.
Okay. I say they get 11 wins this season. I'm factoring in bowl games. 11 wins this year, so I'm going more for Carolina. I think it's a big season for them. One of the concerns I have is
I think there's a good chance they get placed in a pretty good bowl.
Yeah.
Right? And banking on a bowl win when, if it seemed like Clemson or Florida State, the trendy pick, but I have issues with that. If one of them ends up making the CFP, then I could see North Carolina being thrown into like the Orange Bowl. And obviously you're going to be playing a very good squad there, which makes me a little less confident you win your bowl, just out of the respect for the competition. But yeah, I still think they get the more because I think they should have got more last year.
All right, final one. Duke 9-4 last season. Everyone's coming back. More or less of the
Pretty
same
much.
for Duke. 9 wins.
I'm taking the less.
Okay.
And I think they're a better team than they were last year.
Yeah.
I think they will be more talented. They'll play better, but their schedule is
brutal.
Zero joke, sir. So zero fun, sir. Remember the Titans?
Oh, yes.
It's tough. I mean, there's the rank. They could be 8-4 in the regular season and only lose to teams that are in the preseason top 25.
Yeah.
Like if they just lose to top 21 teams in the country, they'll be 8-4, which. And then obviously the bowl would be the difference there if they get to the same or less. But that's a lot to ask of a program like Duke, who's on the come up and getting better, but they're not a powerhouse by any stretch.
I think I'm gonna go with the same. I think 9 wins again this season, which I think
if you
is pretty remarkable.
I think if you gave Duke fans and honest Duke members of the program the option to sign up for 9 wins right now. Mm-hmm. They might not broadcast it, but they're like, bring me the contract. Bring me. Don't tell anybody I did this, but I'm signing up for 9 wins because that's an impressive run through that schedule.
Yeah, absolutely. Because, again, they have 4 preseason ranked top 25 teams in their schedule with Clemson, Notre Dame, Florida State, and UNC, which means if you get 9 wins, you're probably knocking off at least one of them. I don't know if you factor in a bowl game, but still, tough schedule for them. I think 9 wins for them is a really, really great season. I think it's even better than the 9 wins they put together last year.
Yes, to get to 9 wins, they are either pretty much beating one of those teams or there is zero margin for error. You can't have a single letdown in any game that you quote-unquote should win, which is tough in college sports. Most teams lose a game or 2 or 3 that they shouldn't because, you know what? It's hard to predict what 18 to 22-year-olds are going to do on any given day. So if they just win the games they should, that's a wildly impressive season.